Bitcoin is up 50% since that day in 4 short weeks. So I am wearing the Bitcoin orange pants today. I have the Bitcoin bull sock game going. So the cape and the big green candles. And I'm officially declaring 3 weeks from Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, is the official start of crypto summer.
Today, we have Mark Yusko giving us an update on the crypto market and how the much-anticipated bull run is a game-changer for Bitcoin. Yusko dives into the current financial landscape, highlighting how the potential second bailout for banks is actually a great sign for Bitcoin. He points out that the printing of money in 2020 led to a doubling of Bitcoin prices from $10,000 to $20,000, proving that reliable alternative assets like Bitcoin are the way to go. Yusko points out that his prediction for Bitcoin is bullish this year because he knows how close the halving is, which based on the 4-year cycle will inevitably bring in at least $100,000 per coin. Let's check out the latest interview with Mark Yusko as he discusses the bull run for Bitcoin, the crypto market, and how the game is about to change in 2023. Before we dive in, don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content we do here on this channel. Let's get right into the video.
Sellers are gone. All the big leveraged bad guys are gone. And it turns out that I just did a presentation on this yesterday. Hash rate, new all-time high. Number of wallets, new all-time high. Number of wallets with greater than 0.1 Bitcoin, new all-time high. Transaction size and volume, not all-time high, but coming back to being close. And my point of my presentation yesterday was, crypto summer, surfing on a wave of global liquidity. China printed $1 trillion since October. Trillion with a T. Japan, another couple hundred billion. The Fed put $300 billion back on their balance sheet. So, we've got $1.5 trillion of liquidity sloshing around. And turns out people buy things that they like. And there's a whole bunch of people that like crypto and Bitcoin and ETH are the biggest beneficiary. Yeah. The data is there's more buyers than sellers of ETH. ETH, I think I have this right, over the past couple weeks has even outperformed BTC. I mean, it was up 5% yesterday. It crashed through 2000 and hit 2100 very quickly. So I kind of come down on the latter part of your analysis to say, yes, there's a legitimate fear that, people would unlock or, de-risk some portion of, what they've been staking. But I kind of come to it as there's no evidence of that, right? There's just no evidence in the markets of big liquidations of really anything. And, there's some, lower level coins that have just been going bat crazy. It's tough to maintain optimism and energy in the face of constant beatings, right? The whole line, the beatings will continue until morale improves. Well, morale ain't gonna improve. I mean, you beat people down and they will sink lower and lower. And it was a summer of beatings last summer. Or fall, it was a fall of beatings. And bad people doing bad things, and then government actors doing bad things, and suddenly there's this reprieve. Now, look, I do think it's the calm before the storm. I don't think that then they fight you phase is over. I think it's gonna come back with us. Ms. Warren is assembling her crypto army. I think the economy is slowish. I think first quarter number is going to disappoint. Fourth quarter number got revised down. Still not horrible. And the last year, even though they're not going to call it, was a recession. It was a mild recession. 1% year over year, 0.9 year over year GDP. That's recession. That's a 2001-esque recession. And I think in the absence of the global wave of liquidity, right? Had China not printed $1 trillion, had Kuroda-san as his, going away present, not printed another 200 billion, had the Fed not stepped in with Silicon Valley at all with this BTFP, I would be more negative on growth. I would say negative GDP growth in Q1. I would say negative GDP growth in Q2. I don't see that, right? I see a one handle in Q1. And look, I think the biggest indicator is the 10-year. The 10-year yield has collapsed, right? It's down from 4 something to 3.4, something like that. And that's telling you that growth is decelerating, not accelerating. Yet, if you look at Chinese liquidity provision forwarded 6 months and PMIs, it would tell us that PMIs have troughed and that economic activity is going to rise, albeit slowly. But so I think we're going to avert the hard crash landing. This idea of no landing, I think that's just a silly idea. There'll be a landing. And I think you see it in activity, right? I went to a restaurant with the family the other night and it was bustling. It wasn't slammed, but it was bustling. And again, this is a nice restaurant in, we don't have very many super nice restaurants in Chapel Hill, but we have a couple of nice restaurants. And it was full. And that's a good indicator. The airport over spring break, slammed. A lot of people traveling for spring break. So to answer your question, where are we in the business cycle? I think we're past the trough. I think we troughed middle of last year, third quarter or something like that. We kind of fudged the numbers with the SPR, right? We would have had much worse GDP prints last year if we hadn't drained the SPR and double counted the oil. I think that's a scam, but people believe it. Okay, if they start reversing that and start putting oil back in, that could hurt the numbers the other way. But I don't know. We'll see.
Yusko goes on to say, anytime there are bad actors who steal assets, the benefits of alternatives like Bitcoin become all the more apparent. He says that because Bitcoin is a viable form of new money, it's not tied to any underlying asset or liability. This is especially relevant now as the US government has printed half of all the money that had ever existed in the country's history in 2020, leading to a devaluation of the currency. While JP Morgan may be manipulating the price of gold, Bitcoin has been growing in value due to its limited supply and global demand. What do you think about Mark Yusko's prediction for the bull run for Bitcoin? And how will the crypto market respond? Comment down below. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is Library of Wealth. We'll see you in the next video.